about to go on a walk, and I'm going to be talking with someone virtually while I'm walking, and it's just going to be a way for me to connect with people who like my music, have been following my journey, and we're just going to talk about Nashville, music, sports, mental health, wherever the conversation goes. This idea came about from being on a hike with a friend. He was up in Ohio, I was down here, and we were chatting and just realized how good it was for our mental health. So now what I'm going to be doing is connecting with fans, and we're going to go on an adventure, walk a mile with Teddy. I'm about to call Chris from New Hampshire, and we're going to try out our first session at Walk a Mile with Teddy. Come on with us. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Just on my kind of daily hike right now, and just having a pretty good day. How about you?
Pretty good. I would be on a walk too, but in New Hampshire, it's currently just pouring like crazy.
I didn't even consider that if it was going to be raining, but it's all good. It's nice here. It's hot, but it's pretty nice. I do this all the time with family, friends. I'll make business calls. I just put my AirPods in and start walking. And I was on the phone with one of my best friends from back home, and we don't get to see each other a whole lot, but we'll talk on the phone. And it's usually me. I'm out of breath. I'm hiking and stuff. But on this particular occasion, he was on a walk too, and we got done with it and with our conversation. And he's like, "Man, that was awesome. Getting to just like get lost in, in my walk and it's kind of workout. But while we were, able to talk, it just made it kind of awesome for him. And he was just telling me how good that felt for his mentals. And so we came up with the idea. I'm like, man, it'd be kind of cool way to connect with people if I gave, we did something like that. Feel free to ask some questions. I'd be happy to just get to know you.
I think since you live in Nashville, so you probably have a whole bunch of recommendations and spots. What would be your ideal place to take somebody to celebrate something for like dinner wise in Nashville?
Man. So my favorite restaurant in Nashville is a little place called Park Cafe. It's in Sylvan Park, and I just so happen can walk to the restaurant, so I'm there. I go there all the time, and they just have really great service. They've got an outdoor patio. It's awesome. And then after that, if you want to go to bar or anything, there's like a few bars, or like like more like honky tonk stuff like right by it, or you're like 5 minutes from downtown if you want to go there. So I would check out Park Cafe. I love Franklin. If you're gonna go on a date, I would check out Franklin as well. There's a couple really nice restaurants there. There's the Red Pony, which is probably one of my other favorite restaurants in Nashville. Cork and Cow, Gray's. There's a bunch of really cool stuff in Franklin, so I would definitely check that out. It's a little bit more romantic vibe than if you're going to be on Broadway. Also recommend just having a day where you get to go explore stuff downtown. Like, I got my start on Broadway, and although I have probably met my quota on nights that I can go out drinking on Broadway, when I first came to town, I remember walking down Fourth and turning and kind of looking up Broadway and just being like, this is it. This is where, I'm going to cut my teeth and try and figure this town out. And someday maybe, how, like, really the dream is that those honky tonks, they're playing your song down there one day. Right. So yeah, I would go up and down, and a fun game to play is like go into each bar and find your favorite singer and find one you can bet on, see if they're going to make it someday. So I was just curious, how are you holding up?
Yeah, it has been it's definitely been challenging. I just recently like started to go back to like work. I was working the entire time, but just started to get back into the office wise, because we were completely remote for that longest time. It was just everything was Zoom meetings or Ring Centrals or Teams or whatever it was, at the time. And that's the only time you really got to connect with somebody, is at that point. Otherwise, it was just, you'd see, well, my wife, I would see her every day. But you didn't see any of that other human interaction. And me, I was one that, I always enjoyed going out to like a local brewery that we have around here, or a bar to hang out with friends, or, whatever the case is.
Anything good come out of it for you?
I would say, I think of taking care of myself would be probably one of the biggest things. Of, starting to work out, get to the gym, go on walks. I had never taken more walks in my life than I did during the pandemic. And yeah, really just explore a lot of that stuff. So now I feel fantastic. Body feels great. And I don't know, more open to everything, compared to being so closed off.
Man, that's awesome. I think we all had to, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us had to go through that. It was like June, July. I'm like, man, this isn't changing for a while. I can either continue down this path or maybe do, make some changes. And then felt like at that point, it was like, all right, well, I want to come out of this in better shape and know who I am even more. And that was somebody who, I wanted to continue to be proud of myself and, or get to a place where I was proud of myself, because there for a minute, it was like, what am I doing? And I just had to say a lot of times over the last couple of years where it's like, control the things that I can control. I cannot control when I can get back on stage or when things go back to normal, but I can control how I'm treating my mind and my body and how I'm preparing for when that does happen. And I'm starting to get back on some stages now. I'm really proud of the work that I was able to put in over the last 18 months, because I'm up there, and although I wasn't on stage, I was working on some things that I felt like could be improved. So I think there is some good that can come out of this. If we, it just depends on your perspective, I guess,
Yeah.
Well, man, it was great connecting with you. And man, so when you're in Nashville, look me up, or man, hopefully I see you at a show someday and we can meet in person. But I really appreciate you taking the time. Chris, thank you again. Enjoy your evening.
You too. Enjoy the rest of your walk.
All righty. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Just finished up my first try at Walk a Mile with Teddy. Got a new friend in Chris. If you want to be next, drop me a line.